Hey, Bob Coppedge, Crotchety Old Geek, CEO. I'm here with my wrap-up of the GTIA, Global Technology Industry Association Community and Council Forum. It's GTIA, CCF, here in Chicago. And those of you who have known me for a while, you know I've been very involved with CompTIA over the last couple of years. And that CompTIA, those of you from the industry standpoint, CompTIA, the profit portion, which was primarily the education, certifications, all that kind of fun stuff, got purchased and has basically been split off. And the name CompTIA went with that wing, whereas the remaining organization, which is kind of still the same organization, the nonprofit part, is renaming themselves GTIA. Although apparently there's numerous other pronunciations, including GTIA, Gashab, I love that one, I think it's Klingon, or CompTIA, because people keep forgetting to use the new name. Anyway, so good organization, good opportunity to work with peers and all that. And this is interesting because this is a 3-day conference to kind of go over the things that we've done historically. I am no longer on the committee that I was. I am now a member champion, which means that I'm a member champion. And it's one of the, where I'm one of, I think there's like 30 or 40 of us who have agreed to continue to help move GTIA forward with their message and all that kind of fun stuff. So cool. So one of the things with GTIA, and same thing was true with CompTIA, is people don't know what they actually do. GTIA has always had a little bit, or CompTIA in its prior instance, always had a lot of identity issues in terms of really talking about, they talk about the mission, but they had a ton of content, a ton of resources that were available, but they were not doing the best of jobs communicating where those resources were, how they would be used situationally, and all that kind of fun stuff. So a lot of discussion on that, which was great. Another thing is they also have some of the best industry research tools and annual reports from my standpoint from the managed service agreement area that is not specific to a vendor. So it's not Microsoft saying, here's the managed service world or anything along those lines. So it was great. I always look forward to that presentation, and I'll try to put a link in the comments or whatever. If you want to see their report, it's available, and it really is insightful, even if you're not an MSP, but you're internal IT, because it still represents a lot of this stuff. I think you'll find some insights as I did. One of the other things that happens here, this is not a vendor fest from the standpoint of, I'm going to go get my t-shirts, I'm going to go do this, whatever. But it is a great opportunity to see some of the vendors who are equally dedicated to moving this world, microcosm of IT forward. Two of our most critical vendor relationships are Sophos and Pax8. And to have some opportunity to really sit down with some of the key people from both of those organizations, and not from a sales standpoint, but to basically talk in separate conversations about, here's the strategy that Simplex IT is moving forward with, here's the strategy that Pax8 and or Sophos is moving. Now there's a partnership between the two, all three of us can move forward with. And then how do we maximize the goods and services that we can deliver to our clients through the strengths of all three organizations? And it's hard to do that at your traditional conference because there's a lot more, and I hate to say this it sounds derogatory, there's a lot more salespeople at these events as opposed to the management of these events. And I was, having some good conversations with Ryan Walsh, who's the Chief Strategy Officer over at Pax8. So great conversations about really the meat and potatoes about what their resources are, especially their market workplace and all that good fun stuff. Can't do that at your normal trade show. So that was cool. One of the other things we're doing is we're talking to Tim Golden and Des over Compliance Scorecard, and really trying to nail down, especially with their acquisition of professional services resources, both from a standpoint of helping Simplex IT move on our compliance journey. Also, how do we move forward with the compliance journeys of our clients? And it's one where this is kind of a sleeper project. This is actually the first time I'm really talking about it. We've been working a fair amount. Patty, Simplex CIO, or COO, excuse me. And I have been working on moving forward from the organization. We've been talking with Kurt, who handles the managed service project or practice here. And so it's good to talk to Tim and Des, and again, compliance, because I think they're going to be a key part of that moving forward. So, and again, we weren't looking to do sales pitches or anything along those lines. So good place to have those types of conversations. So cool on that. And, it's good to reconnect with you, because I'm not going to as many conferences as I was before, because I didn't have opportunities to have these types of conversations at those conferences, because they were so much bigger and they were involving so much more of Salesforce people, not Salesforce the company, but the Salesforce the role, that my time could be better spent at home, at working on Simplex AT from a client and regional standpoint. So it was also good to catch up with dare I say, friends, and have some really good conversations about perspectives, because it is on the one hand, things are so volatile. On the other hand, things are so business as usual. And on the other hand, there's so many new technologies, and on the other hand, yada, yada, yada. So it was great to talk to both other MSPs who are further along the maturity cycle, other MSPs who are not as far along the maturity cycle, and to realize that a lot of us are going through some of the same things. Some of us are a little further, some of us not so much. And to have, and Cassie, marketing director of Simplex AT, she's going to get some calls because we're talking to several MSPs about what we're doing from a marketing standpoint, and a lot of impressed people who have said, oh, that's what you're doing, that's the model you're following. So it's cool to share on those kind of fun stuff. So kudos to Cassie and her team for that. And anyway, so I'm pretty much done here. This is actually the last day. There'll be a couple of additional things going on. I'm no longer, again, part of the committee. They gave me this nice hunk of acetate, whatever the heck it is, which is cool, and can be used to throw at a raccoon at the office should that become necessary. Anyway, it's a good conference, and catch you later.